Good morning, everybody. It's a new day. It's a new morning. Half the day is over for some of you. I'm excited to be here, friend Brittany Firestone. And we have got a cool session today all about collaboration. How are you collaborating with your colleagues? Brittany is going to drop some knowledge on you. I am excited for here. Brittany, let's just jump right into it and have you start teaching us.
Excellent.
Take it away.
Thank you. Well, I'm excited to be here. I'm Brittany Firestone, and I'm a learning consultant with Instructure. And today we're going to focus on techniques for collaborating with your colleagues in Canvas, how you can work with your PLC or professional learning community in a collaborative space. So we're going to take a look at some ways you can use Sandbox courses for collaboration and some of my favorite tools, including the Direct Share tool for sharing content and ways that you can upload resources to Canvas Commons to become your global PLC. Sandboxes for collaboration are one of my favorite techniques with Canvas. Why do things alone when you can work with the power of your team? Basically, Sandbox courses in Canvas you may be familiar with as you're getting started with Canvas. It's that safe play space for you to build content in Canvas that your students can not see. So it gives you that place to plan content. You can build in that space and you can reset it and change it, and your students can't see it yet. What most people do not realize right away is that additional teachers can be enrolled in these Sandbox courses, which make it a collaborative space. Some reasons I love collaborating in a Sandbox is it gives you a safe place to share content with your team or PLC. As a team, you can determine the structure for your modules in the course, how you would like to stay organized. Kind of like having a team file cabinet, but organizing it really nicely. And that way all team members can utilize that content in any way they'd like in their own Canvas courses. Team members can collaborate together on creating those specific assignments or even assessment items for new quizzes. I love new quizzes because we can almost build those together in real time with teammates. Then each individual teacher has the option to select specific content from that team's Sandbox and bring it into their own SMS or their own Canvas course with students. In return, teachers can create things in their own courses and bring them to the Sandbox. That way all team members have access. So to create that team Sandbox course, you might already have a Sandbox course, but I recommend making that fresh Sandbox course for your team to use. From your dashboard, you'll probably see a gray button to create a Sandbox course. Most accounts have access to this. A pop-up window will appear, and you can give your course a name. So for example, you might be the 4th grade PLC, or you might be American history teachers, whatever it is you teach, you can make that course yourself. And that next step is enrolling the other teachers that you work with as users in this course. You can do that from the People tab, and then there's simply a plus People button. That button is hidden in a lot of SMS or courses that have been pushed out to you with student rosters, but it's available in your Sandbox. Here you can add your colleagues with their email address or their login ID, and they become your collaborators in the course. Make sure you select the role of the teacher. That way they have the same editing rights in the course, so they can add content to the course and edit it as well. The best part is adding content to this Sandbox course to make a really powerful space where you can build together with your team. So you have a few options for adding existing content. Most likely, your teammates have some resources they've created that they want to bring to the table. In Canvas, there are 2 really quick options for adding content. One is the course import tool. You can get to that in your course from settings, or there's even a new button on the home page menu that allows you to import course content. You can bring over an entire course, a specific module, or just individual resources from inside your course, any course that you're the teacher in. There's some amazing Canvas guides that can lead you through the process of importing content using that course import tool. Now, the second option is my favorite feature in Canvas. This was rolled out, I believe, in January, earlier this year, and that is the Direct Share tool. The Direct Share tool just lets you move over entire modules or pages or discussions simply by clicking 3 dots from one course to another. So basically, you click the 3 dots, you say that you'd want to copy the resource to another course, you'd choose it, choose the module you'd like to go in, and ta-da, it's all done for you. So that is that Direct Share tool to move that content into the sandbox. You can also create new content right inside the Sandbox course. So any teachers that are enrolled in that shared sandbox, they can collaborate to create new content right from the modules page or any of the other tabs in the course, like assignments, quizzes, discussions, or pages. Something to keep in mind, though, as you are building with your team in this new course, is you might need to refresh your web browser. For example, if something was added to modules by a teammate and you're both working from different locations, you might not see that module added right away until you refresh your browser. The same with new quizzes. You can be building assessment items at the same time as other colleagues. Just make sure you keep refreshing to see those new assessment items being added to the quiz. Sharing content is super powerful. So I showed you how to bring content in. We talked about how, I'll do a quick demonstration, just a little bit. We talked about bringing content into the course, but just as important as bringing it in is how we can share it out. So once you collaborated with your team, you started building content together, you want to bring it back to your courses with students. That way you can use that content. So the same ways we brought it in, we can basically move it out. So we can use that course import tool to import the content from your sandbox into that course with students, or you can use the Direct Share tool. Those are my 2 favorite, easiest ways to move that content. So the course import or Direct Share, just clicking those 3 dots and moving the individual items or modules over. Now, something that I'd like to remind everyone to consider after you move content from one course to another course is making sure to check that your links are functioning properly, especially if you're using external tool assignments. And you'd want to make sure your assignment groups are all set for grade passback if that is something you use at your institution. That link validator is an awesome tool that's built into Canvas courses. I think it's one of the most rarely used buttons. So I like to really encourage us using it just to make sure your links are functioning for your students. So Canvas actually has a way to do a quick check with the link validator. There's an awesome Canvas guide available for that. But you can also double check those links yourself. If you're linked to other pages in the course, you'll want to make sure they're functioning. Also, those external tools and web links, just make sure they're all up to date and ready to use. Now, there's some other ways to share as well, to share resources out. The Send To feature is a function of Direct Share. That allows you to send individual things from your course to a colleague. So you can choose a specific colleague or colleagues to send it to, and those resources will appear in their account area. So anything you've chosen to send to someone, they will see here.
Hey, Brittany.
Yes.
Quick question from our friend Lorraine out of Penn State. She's wondering, can Direct Share move quiz banks as well?
Oh, that's a great question. I'm going to have to double check on that one. It can move quizzes. Now I'm going to have to look into the item banks.
Good question, Lorraine. We'll look into it. Okay, keep going.
Awesome. That Send To feature is going to be able to send that full assignment or quiz or page or discussion through the Direct Share integration. So that's going to be sending something to another instructor or teacher. I do like to promote Canvas Commons as that global PLC. What's really cool is you can share your resources here, and you can find resources that have been shared with teachers worldwide. You can search by grade level, by subject area. You can search by the type of resource, and there are so many amazing tools that you can bring in to use with your students or to share with teachers everywhere. It's an awesome, amazing resource that's available for you to bring resources in. I always encourage, if you're importing resources from Commons, bring them into a sandbox first. That way you can preview them before putting them into a course with students. So that was my highlights reel. So I wanted to give you a little demonstration on how you can make that team sandbox, options for setting it up and for sharing that content. So let's jump in. So I am in my Canvas right on my dashboard. And to create a sandbox course that you can use with your with your colleagues, with other educators, you'll notice that I have a Start a New Course button. It may also say Create a Sandbox Course. You can just click right here and give your course a name. I'm going to make my amazing team. It's fun. You get to name it whatever you would like to. And once you're in the course, you have the tabs on the left side of the screen here. And I like to just go right to the People tab. And here I can add my colleagues. So I can add the other teachers that I work with and I plan with directly here. You might add like an instructional coach at your school if there's anyone helping you with adding content to courses. You can add any of those users here. So I'm going to add and I'm going to make sure I set them as a teacher. That way they can add content to the course, verify the person, and then simply click Add User. And we're adding our team to our course as collaborators. So that's how we can add a person to our team sandbox course. Now for adding resources in, I mentioned that course import tool at the left side. There is an import existing content button, on the right side of the screen. And here's where you can actually choose content from another course if you want to bring a lot of resources in. So you can choose to copy a Canvas course and then select your course. And you can choose to copy all the content or specific content in. So this is that import content function. I'm going to go ahead and bring all my content in. I'm just going to queue that import. So it's going to bring my resources into this course. And so that is how you can import content in. You can see I had some errors, so I might need to take a look at that. Now, once content is in your course, as a team, you can decide your module structure, how you'd want to organize content. And if once you bring resources in and you choose to share them out, that direct share feature is located right in the 3 dots. I like to call it the skinny snowman. It's that more options button throughout Canvas. Here you can choose to share entire modules or specific resources from course to course. So when we click the 3 dots here, we can simply copy a resource from one course to another course. So I can actually copy it too, and I can type in one of my courses, and I can bring an entire module over, or I can do the same thing with individual assignments as well. As I mentioned before, the direct share feature also works for sending things to specific teachers, and that's with the send to function. So here we can type in a teacher's name or a colleague of ours and simply send the resource to them. That resource, once they receive it, is going to be found in their account area in Canvas, and it can be found in the shared content area. And those are some of my favorite tools. In addition, sharing your resources out to Commons is another popular option. You can share entire modules or specific resources the same place with those three dots. You have the option here to share to Commons as well. Commons, as I reminded you, is that global PLC. So it's a place that you can share resources with the whole world. So you can authorize that integration and simply share a resource. So you can decide who can view them. You can add a graphic picture for it. You can give it a tag. That's going to help other teachers find your resources when they go to Commons. They can search for those tools.
Brittany, how often do you have clients that are using the Commons? Do people find a lot of value in what they see there?
Absolutely, yes. I am a dedicated consultant, so my client uses Commons regularly. We use it to post templates and resources. Also, they post instructional materials that align to our standards that are available for teachers to search for and add to their Canvas courses.
Brittany, give us an idea there. I love that Brittany's actually showing you the Commons right now. You can see that there's over 144,000 results. So do just some easy search query for me there in the box to give people an idea of what it is that they could find here.
Sure. I love the filter tool. It's one of my favorite options. Now, institutions that have enabled Commons might have chosen to allow you to filter the results by things that have been added or approved by their institution. I'm in my own instance of Canvas right now, so that's not displaying, but that's something I love to demonstrate. But you can choose if you're looking for an entire course or like a module structure or specific assignments. For example, I'm going to look for maybe some kindergarten modules. A lot of primary teachers are a little more intimidated when they hop into Canvas to see what's available. Let's take a look here. Maybe we'll go to primary, look for some quizzes and assignments, and we can search by keywords as well. There's so many awesome tools here. Maybe for addition, we'll find something. So here's some cool templates, maybe a quiz for addition up to 5. And these resources we can either add to our favorites so we can find them again later, or you can simply import them into one of your Canvas courses.
Guys, this is so awesome. If you're not using the Commons, you probably saw, I hope you saw as Brittany was searching there and adding different functions or grade levels or modules versus quizzes, that there's just a vast amount of resources that are available for free for you to go and use. So do it. There's a question here from Lorraine. I think this may have been before we started getting into the Commons there. She says, would a colleague who received the shared content then need to move it into a sandbox to work with it?
Great question, Lorraine. So a colleague that receives shared content, they are going to get an alert from their account area. Most resources that are shared with them, they will have the ability to preview right there in their account area. So they're going to be able to see a preview of what that resource is. There are some exceptions to the resources that you can see previews with, and those are mostly external tools, including new quizzes. So if someone sent you a Google Cloud assignment, or if they sent you a Nearpod activity or a new quiz, those you would have to bring into a course to see. Otherwise, you can preview them right from your account area. Now, from the account area, you're going to get the 3 dots, that skinny snowman. And once you preview, you can click the 3 dots and decide which course you'd want to move it into. So basically, you have the direct share feature when a resource has been shared with you to directly move it or copy it to any of your courses. It could be your sandbox, or it could be a course with students.
Love it. Jill, thanks for asking. Looks like she's got a question. I saved my work in one system to Commons. I can't find them in the new system. Is that, Britton, do you have ideas, or is that you move schools, you're in you've got a new instance now? Any thoughts, Brittany?
Some institutions, they have set up some different settings in Commons, allowing how far your resource could be shared. So that may be the case. If you have access to Tier 1 support, that might be a question that you can ask to be able to reutilize that resource and share it more broader. You also could potentially export that course content you had before and then re-import it to Commons in your new institution.
Awesome. Any last questions, friends? We've got a good worldwide audience as always here. Looks like Stephen from Holland. Good to see you. Erica from Sweden, and a whole bunch of other people. This has been fantastic, everybody. Make sure that you're using these powerful tools to be able to effectively collaborate with your teachers, with your instructors, with whoever it is you need to collaborate with. Big thanks to Brittany for being with us. We will be back tomorrow morning, 10:30 a.m. Mountain. Melissa Lobel, our Chief Customer Experience Officer, will be on here, and we are talking with some K-12 rock stars that started the Facebook group Canvas for Elementary. So we will see you tomorrow morning. Thanks, everybody.